Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our breakout, End of Support and the Future of AI at Work with Windows 11 and Copilot PCs. It's amazing to see so many of you here. I'm sure everybody's said it so far as well, but I love being back at Ignite. It's such a great contingent and energy from that in-person audience. So thank you for being here, and thanks everyone for being here online as well. So my name is Stevenson. I'm a director of Windows marketing, and it's been amazing to meet with you and interact with you over the past couple of days. Everything happening across the keynote, the showcase. If you haven't visited us with the Copilot PCs, come over to the hub, and all the other events that are happening across Ignite. I hope you're seeing the energy from Windows this year especially, because I think we're in a real inflection point with Windows, especially with the product and kind of where we're heading. Windows was our very first product, and for over 40 years, we've relentlessly innovated on this platform. It's the foundation that powers the majority of the modern computing experiences around the world. Our vision for the future of Windows is rooted in the belief that technology should empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. This vision is most evident in our efforts to make Windows the best PC architecture in the world, innovating from every layer, from the chip to Windows to the cloud. Together, Windows with Microsoft 365 and Copilot combined with the power of Azure to bring and train your own AI models has kind of completed this full AI at work solution stack. And you've shared a lot of the challenges and opportunities that you are facing. I think the rise of AI has made your roles as IT and technology leaders even more critical in your organization's success. Key trends like obviously generative AI, machine learning, and automation are all transforming your business operations. There's also a growing focus that you've been asked to lead on sustainability and employee well-being. You're also dealing with economic uncertainty, rising cybersecurity threats, and the pressure to keep up with change and competition. To navigate these issues, you need an operating system and an IT platform that supports AI readiness, scalability, real-time insights, and robust security. It must be compatible with existing tools and processes, helping you gain new capabilities while maximizing your current investments. And so today, Aria and I want to walk you through how Windows can help solve some of those challenges and take advantage of those opportunities to transform your business with AI. At the end of this breakout, I want you to kind of understand three things. First, Windows is the best operating system in the world, helping you solve challenges and take advantage of those opportunities. Second, we're helping you get to Windows 11 before end of support of Windows 10 to help unlock the benefits of that modern operating system. And finally, with AI woven across Windows and Microsoft 365, especially on our new Copilot PCs, you can unlock new levels of productivity and satisfaction for your employees. Let's get started with the power of Windows 11. Windows is the platform that unites your estate across apps, services, cloud, and experiences. We released Windows 11 3 years ago, and since then, we've been listening to you and your employees to continue to make it even more secure, faster, reliable, compatible, and manageable. And we're excited to continue to build and innovate on the Windows 11 platform based on your feedback, so keep it coming. This is also the reason why millions of customers around the world have already transitioned to Windows 11. Customers like the NHL team, Calgary Flame, who moved their entire workforce and stadium operations to take advantage of the streamlined, compatible, and productive employee experience. Or customers like Carlsberg, who moved to Windows 11 to take advantage of the most secure version of Windows ever. Those of you who are already on Windows 11, you're seeing a lower total cost of ownership and ultimately a higher return on investment across your estate. Those of you that are there already are seeing 250% return on your investment over 3 years. And that's because Windows 11, you and your employees see a 62% drop in security incidents, an 80% drop in help desk tickets. IT departments are reporting that they are seeing 25% increased productivities, and employees are saying they're getting through demanding workloads 50% faster. This is incredible, and it's exactly why Windows 11 is the best operating system we have ever made. So, to take you through some of the things that we've done to achieve that and unpack it with a little bit of technical depth, I want to invite Aria from our product team to walk you through our investment, starting with security.
Hello, all. My name is Aria. I am a product manager on our engineering team, focused primarily on Windows updates and Copilot PCs. So I'm thrilled to be here today to talk to you about both of those things, starting with Windows 11 and security. Now, Windows 11 is the most secure Windows OS we've ever released. And with each release of Windows 11, we're making it more and more secure by adding additional capabilities and functionalities. Windows 10 has a lot of security features, but as IT, you have to go in and enable those features. This means that you're still open for threats until you've actually configured them. With Windows 11, given the emerging threat landscape, we're changing that. We're working to make sure that Windows 11 devices are secure out of the box, without any IT configuration needed. Now, we actually receive billions of security signals every single day, and we're continually engaging with experts in the field and in the industry to understand what are the emerging threats, what are the patterns, what are we seeing from these signals. And really, we see common attack vectors across three main areas: users and apps running as admin, running unverified apps and drivers, and credential theft. So we've been doing a lot of work to try and address those three key areas and shut down those attack vectors so that Windows 11 devices can stay secure. We have new features and functionality like admin protection, smart app control, Win32 app isolation, and all of the other protections we are continually adding to Windows 11 to make sure that we are addressing the ever-growing threat landscape and keeping you and your devices secure. Not only that, but something I personally am super duper proud of is the fact that on Windows 11, security updates are 40% smaller. This makes it faster for folks to download and install those updates, enabling you to be patched faster. Additionally, we just announced at Ignite that we are bringing hot patching to client devices. This feature takes all of those security and critical fixes that are in a typical monthly security Patch Tuesday quality update, and it packages them in such a way that they can be applied onto the device without the need for a restart. This not only gets you secure up to 60% faster, but it also enables your users to do more and stay productive without the need to restart. Let's check it out. You'll see here that actually through Intune and using Windows Auto Patch, you'll be able to opt into hot patching for Windows 365 or client devices. This then enables the device to go and scan, download, install, and apply all of those security fixes without ever restarting. This is super powerful. If you think about things like compliance deadline and grace period, you don't need to wait for the user to automatically restart overnight or to take action or see notifications. It just happens automatically in the background. And if they go to the settings page, they'll even see that it completed successfully, and they're now protected. So not only is Windows 11 the best Windows OS, in my opinion, but we also want to make it sure it's really easy for you and your company to move there. One key piece of feedback we have heard from a lot of folks is setting up a new device can take a long time. And one of the things we are now bringing to commercial to enable it to actually take less time is backup and restore. This enables you, with your Entra ID, to actually save things like your settings and configurations so that they're seamlessly transferred from one device to whatever your next device is, helping you get back to work on your new device in less time. And whenever we're talking about moving to Windows 11, this is something I help customers with all the time. You can do this with any management tool. You can do this on-prem, you can do this on the cloud. Obviously, we want you to move to the cloud, but you can use Configuration Manager, Intune, whatever third-party management tool you have to move devices from Windows 10 to Windows 11 with an in-place upgrade. It's seamless. And to be very clear, Windows 10 and 11 actually share the same version number. They both start with 10.0. This means that they're 99.7% app compatibility rate because the version numbers that apps are checking are identical at the beginning of them. You can truly think of it as the best version of Windows 10 that was ever released. Now, regardless of how you're choosing to manage updates, we highly recommend that you move to Windows 11 far ahead of the end of service of Windows 10 that's coming in October of next year. As a reminder, please move now and save yourself time later. As part of that transition, you likely have devices in your organization that don't meet the security hardware baseline for Windows 11. And so there are three main things that we recommend you doing with those devices. The first is to refresh them, whether you're using a 3 to 5 year hardware refresh cycle. Trying to refresh these devices to those already actively running Windows 11 is going to be your best course of option. And we do have many programs, whether through OEMs, partners, or through Microsoft Store, to trade in and sustainably recycle or repurpose those devices. The second option is you can go and get Windows 365 and apply it onto your Windows 10 devices. Not only does this allow users to take advantage of the great Windows 11 capabilities, but you get extended support updates without any additional costs, keeping the device secure. Finally, we will be enabling you to purchase extended support update agreements so that you can apply it to the Windows 10 device to keep it secure as well. Now, we encourage you to move as quickly as you can to the first two, because Windows 11 is far more secure, as we talked about, than Windows 10. Now, for those of you who are looking for what device should I choose as my refresh device choice, let me bring up Kurt, who's going to talk to you about which device options you should pick. Hint, it's Copilot PC.
Sweet, thanks, Aria. So Windows 11 is incredibly powerful, and it's only just the start. We can unlock even more value for employees by combining Windows with powerful new neural processing engines that can process up to 40 trillion operations per second, just like our new Copilot PCs. This allows us to build and run new AI experiences that enrich employee workflows in profound ways with AI. When you combine the power of Windows 11 on Copilot PCs with the productivity of Microsoft 365, you start to unlock the true promise of computing to empower every employee in new and incredible ways. Copilot PCs are a new category of devices. They're the next evolution of AI PCs. Put simply, they are three things. First, they're the fastest and most intelligent and secure Windows PCs that we have ever built. Second, they give you access to the most advanced AI available with Microsoft Copilot. And then finally, they introduce all new productivity, creativity, and communication capabilities built utilizing the full power of the Windows Copilot runtime and the neural processing units that are built into these devices. What's awesome is that we can back this up with claims as well. These devices get 22 hours of battery life. In the real world, that's easily more than a full workday. Second, they are 2 times faster at AI processing than the MacBook M3. And they are simply the best Windows PCs that we have ever built. We've been working super closely with our silicon and our OEM partners to make sure that these devices are the best things that we've ever made. They're also the most secure PCs that we have ever made. We raised the minimum hardware bar to be classified as a Copilot PC, and we require them to ship as secured core PCs by default, along with the Microsoft Pluton security processor. What that means is that we create an incredibly secure and hardened PC that allows us to not just protect the actual device, but to also protect the experiences that we create on top of Copilot PCs. Now, we're still doing some amazing stuff in Windows 11. You saw a lot of what Aria just showed you with hot patch and backup and restore. And all of those productivity gains you still get across all of your newer Windows 11 PCs. But to take full advantage of this new AI era at work, you need a Copilot PC. We have innovated every layer of the Copilot PC stack. We took the chance to actually re-architect some of the underlying systems in Windows. What this means is that it has a huge impact to critical applications that your employees use every day. My favorite example is the work we did with Teams to optimize Teams and Copilot PCs to run just incredibly fast. In fact, Copilot PCs are the most performant endpoint for Microsoft 365 on the planet. With Copilot PCs, you are future-readying your organization to take advantage of hybrid AI across features, across cloud and local. Us, as well as our ISV partners, continue to take advantage of these benefits across cloud and local to be able to create these new experiences. We launched this category back in May, and the response has been really energizing. Across hundreds of conversations that me and my team have had, we're hearing the excitement that the PC industry is finally changing and reinventing ourselves really for the first time in 10 years. And now this week at Ignite, we're taking these new PCs even further for business, with new features specifically designed for you and your employees. I'll get Aria to come back and show some of these amazing new features and their value, but before then, let's take a look.
Awesome. So why do we build these things? We often talk about the power of the cloud. We talk about how amazing cloud compute is, how good it is at running really complex models or large language models for complex tasks, and its ability to do things across different data within your organization, obviously secure within your tenant boundaries. But we can actually take that a step further with Copilot PCs and the ability to run models not just in the cloud, but locally on the device. This enables us to actually have real-time context, reduce latency, and do those simpler functionalities that actually benefit from functioning locally on the device without requiring a significant amount of power or eating up your processing. This is really the essence of hybrid AI, is how do we combine the power of local and cloud models to enable you to do more. Now, we are really focused on investing in 3 different areas. The first area is enabling you to find information faster. This is something we spend most of our time at work trying to do, find things that we've previously seen, saved, or looked at. The second is do everything you're already doing, but in fewer amounts of clicks. And the third is enabling more effective communication and making sure Windows is available to all users in the planet and available to you regardless of how you interact with your device. Let's start by looking at how we're improving the ability to find things on a device. Specifically, improved Windows search. How many of you have had that moment where you're looking on your computer and you're trying to find something, where you remember some aspect of the setting, the photo, the file, but you have absolutely no idea what you actually named it when you saved it a month ago? Okay, so good, most of you. Not all, but it's okay. With Copilot PCs, you're actually able now to find that file in a much faster way through natural language interaction. This also helps for things like if you're trying to search for the Bluetooth setting and misspell it, we'll find that as well. Just describe what you're looking for, and improved Windows search finds it. Search today on your device is actually using lexical search. What this means is it's doing character matching based on your keyword. And it's saying, OK, you typed in the word dog, D-O-G. I'm going to see what titles have the word dog in them. And it will do a match one-to-one. With improved Windows search, it's actually doing semantic searching. This means it's not just looking at your lexical comparison, but what you're trying to get at. So for example, with improved Windows search, I could search for something like dog and get back documents containing stories about puppies, photos of my Bernese mountain dog that were labeled puppy in the snow or other random things, without actually needing to remember what the file's name was. Let's check it out. You'll see here in File Explorer that you actually can search not just across your device, but any of the active files that you've looked at. This means that you can search across your OneDrive for Business, your local device files, your photos as well, and try to actually find anything that meets the essence of what you were searching for. This is super powerful in terms of enabling you to save time finding the files that you've previously looked at. Another really good example is recall. Now, one of my favorite parts of my job, believe it or not, is talking to customers like you, and especially getting yelled at by customers like you when we are doing something where we need to improve or do better. And recall is an amazing example of the power of your feedback. Through conversations with hundreds of IT admins over the last few months, we've really understood better what we need to do to make our product meet your needs. And specifically with recall, that starts with recall being not just off, but disabled and removed from the device by default for commercial. Especially for those who do choose to enable recall in their environments, we are really excited to put data privacy and security at the forefront of everything that we're building. This means that snapshots and any associated information is stored on the device, always encrypted, and the encryption keys are protected via the Trusted Platform Module, or TPM, which is tied to a Windows Hello enhanced sign-in security identity for unencryption, which means it really can only be used by operations within a secure environment called a Virtualization-Based Security Enclave, or VBS enclave. VBS enclaves use the same hypervisor as Azure to segment the computer's memory into special protected areas where that information can be processed. Using zero trust principles, code in these enclaves can use cryptographic attestation, protocols to ensure the environment is secure before performing sensitive operations, such as snapshot processing. Now, essentially, you can think of everything I just said as though your data is being put into a safety deposit box, and the only thing that gets that data unencrypted or out of the box is your face, or your fingerprints, or your Windows Hello ESS sign-in. And this is super important to make sure that your data is your data and nothing else has access to it. Additionally, not only have we made sure that your data stays secure, but we also wanted to ensure that IT admins have the controls they need to actually, sorry, it's not playing the right video. We also wanted to make sure that IT admins have the controls that they need to manage recall in their environment. This means things like website control, app control, control over how long that data is stored on their devices, in addition to whether or not you want to allow your users to opt in to using recall. Along with all of these protections, we've also added Microsoft Classification Engine, or MCE, the same technology leveraged by Microsoft Purview, to ensure that credit card numbers, social security numbers, etc., are not recorded by default by recall, to ensure that that sensitive data isn't even put into the box. Now, your feedback here has been critical. And really, these controls are built based on the things that you keep telling us. So my ask to you all, watching online, in the room, is please continue to give us feedback. Please continue testing and letting us know what works, what doesn't work. You can reach out on tech community, you can reach out in person, you can even reach me directly on Twitter X, at Aria Updated. Anytime, I'm happy to respond. Now, whether or not you choose to enable recall in your organization, it's an amazing example of the power of the neural processing units on these Copilot PCs and what they can provide. Now, why? Why local? Think about a case like recall, where you use your device maybe 10 hours a day for 6 months. That's gigabytes and gigabytes of data. If you were to process that in the cloud, you'd be sending up that information, which, depending on your bandwidth connection, could take hours and hours of time, then sending your request to query it and getting a response. It may also include data that you don't want sent up to the cloud, like hours of me playing Civilization 6, or me and some of the local documents I have that, due to compliance reasons, can't be uploaded even to Microsoft's tenant. Due to these things, processing them locally on the device enables us to do things much more efficiently that were never going to be possible in the cloud. Now, that's all about how we search and how we search better. But we also are looking at how do we simplify your workflow. And this really starts with Microsoft 365. On each of these devices, they all come equipped with the Copilot key, which will open your Microsoft 365 Copilot and is configurable, making it really easy to access Copilot whenever you need it. Not only this, but we are looking to bring a lot of the great capabilities in Microsoft 365 Copilot to the local device. This is hugely powerful and is starting with Microsoft Outlook. With Outlook on a Copilot PC, if you have Microsoft 365 Copilot, you'll be able to summarize or rewrite emails all locally on the device. Not only does this mean that you get those same great capabilities while offline on a plane traveling, but it also means that this is now available in areas that have separate executive order compliance needs and really are restricted lockdown government industries, as this allows the Microsoft 365 Copilot functionality to now run on secure, multi-purpose internet mail extensions, or SMIME, to get these same capabilities, leveraging it no matter what your regulated industry is. And finally, we're also creating new features to improve collaboration and communication. In Microsoft Teams, one of my favorites is the ability to actually upscale resolution. This means if someone's calling me and their bandwidth isn't that great, and they're calling me and it's very grainy, my device automatically upscales their resolution to enable me to see them clearly. Another good area that is super important that we're very much focused on is accessibility, and how do we make sure that you can communicate with others across your company and other companies, regardless of how they're using their device. And one of those first functionalities is in Microsoft 365 Documents. We are automatically generating alt text for images within those documents. This is a huge time saver, both for the person writing the document, who would have had to go in and write the actual description of the image, as well as ensures that if they're sending this document to someone who's using narrator or reader, that they can actually understand what was in that image because an alt text is always included. Of course, you can still edit, configure, and adjust the alt text as needed if you find that the description isn't quite to your liking. This brings us to another scenario, which is improved reading in Windows. Today, whenever you go to an image in Narrator and you have it do the screen reading, and you get to a complex image like a graph or a chart, what ends up happening is it basically tells you stock image, which is possibly one of the worst descriptions for what is there, because you have no idea what that image actually contains. With the Copilot PCs, we are improving that capability to give a better understanding of what that image is. Let's take a look. As you see here, it actually automatically generated a description of this image and gave an in-depth overview of what was being displayed, allowing the user to not just hear a stock image, but understand that this is a graph comparing different things and showing it the progression over time. These experiences are just the beginning, and they do matter in terms of making sure that the devices are enabling user productivity, are enabling you to do things in fewer clicks, and enabling it to be more accessible for all of the people using those devices. And these features are only going to be available on Copilot PCs due to the fact that we need to use the neural processing unit to run those local AI models without eating into the CPU or the GPU on the device. Now, one of the most powerful examples of these things isn't just what we're doing. We're building some features onto the device, but so are our partners. And one great example of that is 𝗏𝗲𝗏 with the 𝗏𝗲𝘀 app. This app is working to empower blind or low vision users to better visualize and interact with different content. Let's take a look.
My name is 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀. I'm a teacher for the visually impaired like myself. The biggest challenge for us is dealing with graphical learning material like curves, charts, models, or any other visual asset.
While we're used to understanding complex topics through visualization, it's much harder for the 285 million blind and visually impaired people worldwide.
𝗏𝗏𝗏, the first smart tactile graphics display.
It can display any visual content from any source because the innovative dot image processing technology uses AI to analyze and segment images and display them most accurately. 𝗏𝗏𝗏's universal control elements allow you to interact with the content directly on device.
Imagine this with local AI models for image classification. The 𝗏𝗏𝗏 app and the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 tactile display can let blind students experience the shapes of animals, such as the broad wings of a dragonfly and the majestic humps of an African camel. These local AI capabilities are powered by WebNN and 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏 for Copilot PCs with NPU, enabling developers like 𝗏𝗏 to create AI experiences with reduced cost, enhanced privacy, and longer battery life.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, now I get it.
𝗏𝗏𝗏 gives a great example of how you can use the neural processing units to build your own application that's leveraging that power to provide previously unavailable experiences, or provide experiences that are offloading from the processing power of the CPU. If you haven't already got a chance to check it out, we're also showing many of these experiences on the showcase floor, or you can find me and Kurt and we'll demo them for you directly. Another great example is 𝗦𝗃𝗃, which really shows how you can leverage the power of on-screen context locally on the device to provide a greater protection to users who are adapting that device and using it for various purposes. Let's check it out.
I'm Dan Hun, Vice President of Business Development at 𝗏𝗃𝗃. As a global leader in online protection for consumers, we invested and built a smart AI engine capable of discerning real versus fake audio content and videos. With the Copilot PCs on-device NPU, 𝗏𝗃𝗃's AI models can analyze and detect deepfakes locally. This maximizes user privacy by keeping user data out of the cloud and accelerates detection speeds by up to 300% over cloud-based methods. That means that McAfee's smart AI detection system can tell you in seconds if the video you're watching includes AI-generated or manipulated audio. Every day, millions of new videos are added to popular social and streaming sites. With Microsoft by our side, and thanks to the strength of our joint ecosystem partners, McAfee is helping to make sure that you feel confident consuming online content on Copilot PCs.
The best part about all of these experiences is that they're backed by Windows Copilot Runtime, which enables not just us, but also our partners and customers to all build on top of the same set of models that we're making available or bring their own model to leverage the NPU. And this really is just the beginning. This is the lowest number of features, the lowest number of applications that we'll ever have running on the neural processing unit on the Copilot PCs. This is truly a platform where we're looking to enable more capabilities to enable users and yourselves to do more. With that, let me invite Kurt back to the stage to talk to you about how to get started.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Aria. So, yeah, I really want to kind of bring it together to you at the end. So Copilot PCs are available from all of our top OEMs. So we have Dell, HP, Lenovo, Acer, Asus, Samsung, all of those devices, as well as Surface, obviously. All of those devices you can check out at the showcase. And they're all commercial-ready offerings. They're all commercial devices. We also have a variety of silicon partners. So we started with Qualcomm with their X Elite, Snapdragon X Elite and X Plus chipsets. But now with Intel announcing their new Core Ultra Series 2 processor, as well as AMD's Ryzen AI Pro 300 series, we have a range of devices and a range of specs to meet all of your employees' needs. So whichever silicon or hardware you choose, all Copilot PCs will come with that 40+ TOPS NPU that will enable your organization to leverage the latest and greatest features as they are released. They will truly set you up to take on what's next. One question we often get asked as well is, how is Microsoft doing this? How are we taking advantage of all of this new features? How did we move to Windows 11? How are we bringing ARM devices into our organization? How are we enabling these new Copilot PC features? And so from our own MS Digital team, we invited Sean just to share with you how we're doing it internally.
My name is Sean McDonald, Partner Director of Product Management for Microsoft Digital, Microsoft's IT organization. We are often asked, how does Microsoft do this? In the spirit of answering that question today, I'm sharing some insights from our journey from Windows 10 to Windows 11 and our adoption of Copilot PCs. Our transition to Windows 11 was remarkably smooth and efficient. We deployed the new operating system to 190,000 devices in just 5 weeks, making it our fastest and most seamless upgrade ever. To accomplish this, we adopted a phased, ring-based approach, starting with a small group of knowledgeable users, then expanded to a proof of concept group, followed by a pilot, and then ultimately to full implementation across the company. This method allowed us to identify and address potential issues early on throughout the deployment. We leveraged Windows Autopatch to fully control the timing and method of updates, ensuring devices remained current without disruption. The result was a 99.8% incident-free deployment across 225,000 devices globally. Security and compliance were also top priorities for us. Our rigorous testing process ensured that every new feature met our high standards before deployment. And as customer zero, we use and test Microsoft products internally first, providing valuable feedback that helps refine and improve these products for broader enterprise use with our customers. Communication was also critical, especially regarding hardware requirements. We managed both Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices side by side until all of our older hardware was replaced. This transition presented an opportunity for us to adopt Copilot PCs, which include neural processing units or NPUs that enhance AI-driven features and improve overall performance and battery life. We found significant performance improvements on Copilot Plus devices. Many of our users on ARM devices have even reported battery life exceeding 20 to 22 hours of active usage. These new devices will help save users time and improve productivity through unique capabilities such as improved Windows search, reduced latency in select Microsoft 365 Copilot features running on the MPU, and the ability to quickly find content previously seen. In summary, our strategic phased approach, coupled with an effective use of deployment tools and rigorous testing, ensured a smooth transition to Windows 11, setting a new benchmark for future upgrades. And our ability to replace older hardware with Copilot PCs has helped us future-proof for the development of new features that save users time and make Windows more accessible. At the end of the day, our move from Windows 10 to Windows 11 was just as smooth as any other feature update.
Awesome. Cool, so this is just the start. The future of business AI on Windows is here. And we cannot wait to see what you do with the power and possibilities of Microsoft 365 and Copilot PCs. So thank you so much for joining us today. I said at the start that I wanted to leave you with 3 things. So first, you saw why Windows 11 is the best operating system in the world, used by over 1 million organizations for its security, performance, reliability, productivity, and manageability. Second, you saw that we are working hard to make it easier than ever to move to Windows 11 before Windows 10 goes end of support. And finally, you saw how you can bring AI capabilities to your employees to make it easier for them to be more productive across Windows and Microsoft 365 on Copilot PCs. So, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time today. Super appreciate you joining us. There's much more to come. Join the head of Windows and Devices, 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗲, and his leadership team later today in the Windows General Session. It's at 2:30, just next door. You'll learn all about security, Windows 11, Windows 365, including the incredible new Windows 365 link, as well as more Copilot PC features. So thank you so much for investing your time here today, and thank you so much for being on this journey with us.